till he starts. Wait till he starts fighting with the cat if he hasn't already.
Oh
That
yeah,
is funny because the cat will not hurt a
Corgina.
baby. Promise.
Oh, she will. I wouldn't put it past her. I would not. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started. Should we check out some slides? Again, we got a really fun call for you today. This is getting back to the basics, which we do that a lot, but I think it's an important place to start. And no matter how far you progress, there's always room to go back, reevaluate, and start fresh in a new, more efficient way. So we're doing that. We're constantly growing, learning, and straight to the top where this team's going. So I'm excited for that. Again, happy Monday, day after Cinco de Mayo. We're the Durgan Agency. I'm Paige Durgan, if you're brand new here. And then we've got Hunter here, my partner in crime. And that's little Brooksy, or AKA Carlos, if you know the reference. Let's get this party started.
That's funny.
All right. Welcome to week 2 of May. We are in a 5-week turn-in, so exciting time to be shooting for some promotions, leveling up by that 5-point increase, maybe hitting a level of leadership as well. So great opportunity to jump that APV up and really send things flying into June.
Flying into June. Some contests, these are super fun. We just keep this up here for a little extra oomph, little extra motivation. The income, obviously a great motivator here. Working for yourself, working from home, the balance, the impact, the opportunity to create generational wealth, grow a business, help others, change the future of this country by making sure more families are protected. But also, you can win trips to really, really cool places for free. So a couple that are happening right now, there's Whistler, Madeira, Jackson Hole, and Dorado Beach, all different countries. And there's more too. If you go onto HQ on dashboard, you'll see all the contests that are currently being run. It's a pretty cool spread we got here this year. So pick one, go for it. All the carriers are great. You're going to help your client in the best of ways, no matter who you write with. So pick one that you want to win and focus your efforts there. And it's doable your first year. Absolutely.
Excuse me. 100 Family Challenge for 2024. Master Agency total at 474 applications, just shy of 500. And we're not even halfway through the year yet. So we're going to be, I think, pushing that 2,000 mark by the end of this year. What do you think, Paige?
I think so. And I love seeing some people inching their way up here. We've got Tom at 77, Mama Margot at 53, Ibble at 47, Josh at 42, Hunter, you're at 17, Sam's at 11, Denise is at 8. Everyone's kind of working their way up here. So I know that we're going to have some big winners this year. 100 families over the course of 2024.
All right, new writers for May. Big congratulations to Mr. Martin Martini Emanuel, direct to Josh Bostic. Angela Taylor, great to see you on here, direct to Margaret Jensen. And then also Mr. Mark Anthony Baldazzo, direct also to Josh Bostic. Congratulations, all you, for getting your first applications in. That's a big hurdle to get over. Now you know what you're doing when you get to sit down with the client for that first time. Now it's time to, and a little foreshadowing here, now it's time to start getting leads and go on to those first 1,000 dials. So congrats to all of you guys. Way to get on the board for the first time.
Yep. First week in May, already have 3 new writers. That's exciting. Big things ahead. Big things ahead. First of many. Durgan Base Shop. Oops, my screen just tapped out here. Durgan Base Shop for the first week of May. We've got 20 apps for 15,781. Miss Angela Taylor, 1 app for 600 APV. I know Angela's been working hard to help a couple friends, and so she got that one done. Super pumped for you, Angela. Nicole Collins, 4 apps for 1,398. Hunter Durgan, 1 app for 2,332. That was a warm market too. Gotta love social media. Really tough. Yeah. Mama Margot, 5 apps for 3,250. We'll round it up APV. And then myself, 9 apps, 8,202. So far, 5 unique writers, 1 brand new, and Angela Taylor, 20 apps, again, 15,782 for the week.
Hey, Paige, I gotta offer this challenge up. I think both of us need to change our pictures here.
I know that picture is 4 years old. I got to do it. You're right.
I'll do mine after hard 75. I promise.
Yeah, you're looking smaller in that screen, Tom. I have to zoom in now to see you. You're shrinking.
That's because I'm sitting farther back. I'm kidding. No, it's good.
Nope.
Hey, we had a great, 18 pounds down, Paige. 3 weeks.
That's exciting, Tom.
Um,
That's the
oh,
whole size of Brooks. Look at you.
oh, really? A full little human. Oh God.
A little human, yeah. You
So
lost a-
we've got some cool things going here. Do you remember, Paige, when our base shop would be like 1 or 2 riders
yeah, you
in
and
the
me.
month? In the
Then
month.
Ibble showed up.
Yeah, in the
You and
month.
me, then Ibble, then Josh. Yep.
We got 6 this week. It's awesome. Mark Beldazzo, new rider, 1 app, 361 APV. Mark Ferber writing a couple policies on his daughter, I believe, or daughter-in-law. 2 apps for 686 APV. Love that guy. Blast from the past. Ibble Wood, 2 apps for 1425. Martin Emanuel, new rider, first app, 1878. That's pretty good. If you're writing the first app, that's pretty darn good. I'll give you credit there. Josh,
Yeah.
look at Boomstick. I like this, and I like the separation of the 3 apps for 3674 APV, because I believe the average application for symmetry is 1200. So that's a really good formula.
On track. Yeah.
And
right
there you go. Yours truly here with 5 apps for 7906. And for this week, 14 apps, 15,932. Did we beat you by like $1?
You might have.
Was it?
Allison Bayshaw.
And 6 unique riders, 2 new riders this week, 14 apps. We're kicking butt in May. We are taking names. This is our deal. Let's go. Fired
Go
up.
back one
Let's go.
slide. What was the Durgan base shop total?
It was close.
What was Durgan?
It was
1570. Well, we got $200.
$150.
Whoa. You beat us by 1 rider and 1 new rider and $200. Snaps for Ellefson Base Shop. Congratulations, you guys. Well deserved. Well deserved. And you know what's super cool? I think it was, I don't know if it was 14 apps for Durgan Base Shop, but that's over 30 people protected in 1 week. Oh, 20 and 14. So that's
Okay.
34 people protected in 1 week. I couldn't do that myself. Tom couldn't do that himself. So if we were here being Lone Star producers, we wouldn't be able to make that much of an impact. But because of this team, we were able to go out and protect over 34 people in 1 week. That's 34 families that are their lives are drastically changed now when that time comes, not a matter of if, but when. And we were able to do that. So their family will be forever changed because of your efforts this last week.
And
so.
think about this Paige. If you did it yourself, if you worked 8 hours and you helped one family for 8 hours and you worked Monday through Friday, you could help 40 families. And together we helped 34 in just a week isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. That is really, really crazy. Awesome job, you guys. Awesome job, team. Straight to the top we go. Promotion guidelines. Hunter, do you want to take this one?
Absolutely. So just a reminder, guys, especially if you're brand new, here is your path to growth. Here is your path to promotion. Great thing about this business is that it's all laid out right in front of you. You have the opportunity starting from day 1 to increase your compensation, increase your level of leadership every month moving forward. So you can see on the left side, the standard targets, $2,500 2 months in a row to go from 80 to 85, 5,000 2 months in a row to go from 85 to 90. But don't forget, if you're anywhere within those first 3 commission levels, you can slingshot and do it in just 1 month, right? What other company, what other opportunity gives you the chance to earn a 15-point raise in compensation in just 3 months? And a reminder, you don't have to be in your first 3 months of being here to qualify for slingshot. You could have been here for a year. If you're still in one of those first 3 levels of compensation, you can still hit that slingshot, hit that bonus, get your promotion in 1 month instead of 2. So just a reminder to all of you, always be keeping your eyes on that next level. Always know where you're going. And if you're not sure on quite how to get there, ask our favorite question. Hey, what's next? What do I need to do next to get to that next level of promotion?
Yeah, and just to kind of put it into perspective, can you go back really quick, Crystal? Thank you. Sorry, we keep you on your toes here. So let's say you're at the 80% contract level and you write an app for 1,000 APV. Ultimately, your commission is $800 on that. If you write that same app again at the 90% contract level, your commission is $900. So you go from $800 to $900. You make an extra $100 just for getting that promotion. same amount of work, same time spent, same APV, you're making $100 more. Imagine that, right? You're getting paid more for the same amount of work. So get promoted. Focus on what you need to do next. Hit that target, then on to the next. Don't miss a promotion, and you're going to find yourself way up there very, very quickly. And your bank account's going to be thanking you for that. So set sight on next promotion. Let us know how we can help you too. Future AOs for the first week in May. We've got Team Hunter Durgan with 2 riders, 3,729 APV. Team Mama Margot Jensen, 2 riders, 3,850. Team Boom Bostic, 3 riders, 5,915. Team Ibble Wood, Incredible Wood, 4 riders, 7,340 APV. Team Tommy Boy Ellison, 6 riders, 15,932. And Team Durgan, 11 riders, 31,714 for the week. I remember not long ago, Tom, when it was 31,000 for the month, 31,000 for a 3-month stretch, maybe. It's pretty wild how quickly things change here. You just keep doing the right things long enough, and you're going to be rewarded. I posted something in Discord this morning. I encourage you to check it out if you haven't yet. Ultimately, the price here to pay is growth. You grow yourself, you become bigger and better, you read, you associate, you just grow beyond your current set of problems, and you're going to be earning the rewards here. And the rewards are huge, right? Equity ownership. I was just talking to a 130 the other day, and her bonus before she was an equity partner here, that means that she's at the top of the company. She has another person at the top of the company as well. She went from making a bonus of $2,000 a month to $28,000 a month as a bonus. That's just her bonus. That's not what her team's doing. That's not what she does personally. Just a bonus. So the rewards are huge here. If you just grow yourself, keep doing that long enough, and you're going to be a completely different person, completely different life, creating generational wealth. You could be the Henry Ford of your family. Let's leave it there. Next slide.
All right, ways to connect. We have the Jensen Discord workroom. Guys, this is always open. Hop in there when you're doing dials, when you're running appointments, when you're recruiting, or if you just want to hop on and listen to somebody doing those activities, gain a little confidence if you're brand new. Figure out what's going to work best for you. It's a great place to ask questions, great place to get support, and just an overall awesome place to feel like you're not doing this business cooped up in your home by yourself all the time. So hop in that workroom, utilize those resources, ask questions in the chat. All of these are ways that we are here to support you, work with you, and get you going on your journey.
Mm-hmm. And the slide, woo, go Tim.
Yes, Tim Greaves is our Pillar of Success Agent of the Week this week. And Hunter mentioned this just a few minutes ago. What was the magic question that you proposed there, Hunter? It was awesome.
What's next?
Tim is a master of asking what's next. He is figuring this out. I just got a text from him a little bit ago about an appointment coming up. What should I do? How should I do this? Where should I go? What does this look like? And, never been through this before. That's perfect. That's exactly what this is all about. It's about becoming that, as Paige said, growing yourself and getting through the hurdles. And, I just see Tim, he's plugging into calls. He's learning, he's asking different questions. In fact, Hunter, I think he even asked, how do I start recruiting? Isn't that a crazy question?
That's awesome. That's eyes on the prize right there, knowing that, the real way to succeed here is not only to be a good writer, be a good producer, but also to focus on building that agency, right? Create that passive income.
Yeah. I'm excited every time he texts me or calls me. I'm excited because it's worthwhile because I know he's pushing forward and he wants this so bad. So there you go.
I love that. There's nothing crazy about that question, Tom. That's a great question. And by just taking one step forward in that direction, again, your life's going to be totally different 30, 60, 90 days from now. Congratulations, Tim. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Well deserved. So, Tom, Hunter, we're talking about some big stuff today, right? I'm super excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are we talking about again? I'm kidding.
So let's just kind of set this up here. So as you start here, we talk about a system, right? We talk about what you need to do every day, the little things you need to do every day to get you where you need to go. But we've got that whole system ahead of us. We've got the whole roadmap. We don't have to come in here and reinvent the wheel. We don't have to come in here and try to figure out what it is that we need to do in order to win. It's already laid out there for us. So we're going to talk about what that looks like in the beginning, right? Your very first couple of weeks here, what you need to be focusing on. And if you focus on these things, you're going to win. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Every single person who focuses on these things and these things only, right, during this time frame, they win here. And there's one key ingredient to that. That's never giving up. The only way to lose here is to quit. So if you stick it out during these 5 stages, you're going to win. You're going to figure this thing out. It will happen. But it's up to you. You got to put in the work. No mentor, no training call, no video online is going to give you everything you need. You have to put forth the action steps. You have to take it and run with it. And the best way to learn here is by doing. You can't learn to swim in a library. It's one of my favorite sayings, and it's true. You got to get in the pool. You got to start splashing around. You got to figure it out. And we're here to guide you. We're here to course correct you. We're here to help you keep focused on what's ahead while you're sitting in that shallow end trying to doggy paddle. But you're going to get there. You're going to get there. Just keep going. So can we bring up that slide really quick, and let's start from the top.
And really quick, Tom, before you kick into this, I just want to throw out there, for those of you who have already made it through these first 5 steps, for those of you who are maybe looking to build your team, let this be a reminder of what you need to be focusing on when you bring new people on board, right? Don't overcomplicate the process for your recruits. Don't overcomplicate the process for the people that you're bringing on as business partners, right? Just follow these 5 steps, coach them through these 5 just the way you did, and you're going to see your team start to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
All right. Step 1, Tom. Walk us through it.
The first step, you got to get your license. That's the first step. It's like, Paige, do you remember? I love this correlation. I don't know where I heard it. I know I stole it. I didn't make it up. But do you remember when you got your driver's license?
Yeah, I failed my written test 3 times. Anyways, keep going.
Well,
Is anybody surprised?
No.
I got it though. They finally gave it to me because they felt bad for me, I think.
Hey, I failed my insurance test 3 times too, so it's okay. We're even, Paige. Not that this is a game, but think about this. Were you a better driver the day you got your license?
Then no.
No. It takes the experience. But what it is, you were official, right? You could now, if you did something, you were official. It wasn't an illegal driver. It's the same thing here with your license. You pass the test, take the fingerprints. I think David Schoenberg's going through this. Get your fingerprints, apply on NIPR.com. Make sure that you have everything in line first and foremost, because as soon as you get your license, it unleashes everything. You are now legal to do this business. So it's not always the easiest. It took me 3 tries to get my license. I remember Paige calling Bridget at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night, and Lord knows she's at a cocktail party of some sort. And I'm like, I passed. Now what do I do? She goes, did you apply for your license? I said, yeah, I already applied. She goes, you did? She goes, well, I'm going to get back to this party. I'll talk to you Monday. She figured that. And anyway, I called her Saturday, the next day. Anyway, it's all good. So it's just get that license. It's meaningful. Once you do, the doors open. Hunter, you got anything to add to that? That one's pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in pre-licensing on this call right now, first of all, congratulations for being here right from the very beginning. This plugging in is going to help you massively. But the biggest thing I would say about getting your license, and something that you can tell everybody you bring on beneath you, is don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Okay. Nothing in that pre-licensing course matters once you pass the test. Nothing in that pre-licensing course is going to be something that you have to be able to recall immediately anytime in the rest of your life, because once you get your license, everything from there on is open book, right? Let me, can we take the screen share off really quick? I'm going to go to gallery view and just show of hands. Who has had to remember something from their pre-licensing course that they couldn't go back and find when they were working with a client? Who has not had a resource available, right, to just go look something up? Anybody? No, everything is all out there. So all this test is doing is saying, okay, you can retain this amount of information long enough to get through the test. If you forget it all after that, that's fine, because we've got it all right there for you on HQ. We've got it on carrier information pages. Heck, if you're unsure of something, you can call the carrier and ask them. So just know, don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it, power through it, and get that first hurdle behind you.
It's like buying a train ticket.
Yeah. Gotta get you legal. That's it. Don't overthink it. Just get your license. I liken this to when you're in math and they teach you how to do long division by hand, and you go through that whole rigmarole, and then all of a sudden they're like, here's a calculator that does the same exact thing. That's like what it's like to get your license here. You learn all the ins and outs, the language, the all the stuff that scares the crap out of you, and you're like, what if I do this wrong? And then you get your license and you realize that you don't actually need any of those teeny tiny details to do your job here. We teach you everything you need after that.
Side note on that, does anybody remember those math teachers who were like, you need to learn how to do this by hand because you're never going to have a calculator in your pocket? Joke's on you, Mrs. Bennett. Right?
Dude, I say that in every appointment. I want to go back and tell all my teachers that I when I'm doing the financial breakdown, it gets a laugh every single time from everyone I talk to. It's a great joke.
Great joke. Love it. Yeah, and that's so true, because it's like when you're in your licensing course and they say you need to know that you have to go deliver the policy to the client. You need to collect the first premium. You need to make sure you're getting all the information to the carrier. Guess what? All that stuff is automated now. So you really don't need all those details. You just need enough to get your license. You already know about 99% more than the average human does about insurance at that point, and then you're good to go. So I think we beat this one down. Get your license. That's when it all starts. That's when the fun begins.
Oh, what's next, Paige?
Step 2, Hunter.
Getting contracted. Guys, this is one of the most overlooked and most important steps of the process, okay? From the second you get your license, you're official in HQ, you get that welcome letter from Symmetry. Everybody gets all, okay, let's go. I want to get into Summit. I want to learn how to do this. I want to investigate every policy from every carrier so I know everything about it. Whoa, pump the brakes, okay? Contracting can take anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks, depending on your state and the carrier. The most important thing you can do or have your agents do is make sure they get registered in SureLC, make sure they have all of that paperwork, their AML certification, their E&O certificate, or their E&O policy in place. They have their SureLC profile completed, and that most importantly, Crystal knows about it so that she can send them contracting. Because once you have that contracting submitted, even if you don't have a writing number yet, for most carriers, you can still write that policy. Okay, so you want to be able to have access to that. So contracting. Before you dive into Summit, before you get your switchboard account set up, before you start virtual mentor training or navigator training, or IUL training or annuity training or any of these other things, just get your contracting submitted, okay? From there, then we can start worrying about everything else. And the most important thing to worry about after that is getting yourself into Basecamp, right? If you're brand new, if you've never sold insurance before, Basecamp is going to show you step-by-step what you need to know to have your first meeting with a client, okay? It's going to walk you through scripts. It's going to walk you through underwriting. It's going to teach you how to use the technology. Heck, it's even going to give you an income calculator to show you exactly how much activity you need to do, what sorts of leads you need to buy in order to be successful. So hammer into Basecamp. Now, here's another thing about Basecamp. Again, just like pre-licensing, don't get bogged down in it. Basecamp, again, is not meant to teach you everything you need to know. Basecamp is meant to be a solid foundation that allows you and your mentor to speak the same language moving forward, okay? Basecamp is going to kind of lay that base, lay that foundation for you to continue to build on through experience. As Paige said earlier, experience is the best and really the only true teacher in this business. You got to fall down enough times to learn how to get up and keep going. You got to hear enough objections to learn how to overcome them. Because once you find that first success, once you get that first sale, you're going to throw your hands up in the air and you're going to realize, man, everything that knocked me down getting to this point, allowed me to make that sale. And now that I've done it once, there's no reason I can't do it 10 times. And if I can do it 10 times, I can do it 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 1,000, right? It's simply formulaic. It's following the process. I always like to say, you know, symmetry is great because it's a cookbook, right? That kind of harkens back to my former life. But if you follow this system, if you combine the online resources, the Basecamp with the one-on-one mentoring with your upline and the agency owners that you work with, it is literally a recipe for success. The only time you can fail here, as Paige said, is when you quit or you refuse to follow that recipe.
And the last thing you ever want to have happen is you meet with a client and you're not contracted with that carrier. And that's kind of a deterrent, for lack of a big sigh in a word. It's a deterrent. So, and one thing, Hunter, I think we need to make sure we include here is Ariel and Crystal, Paige, you and I are all going to help you get through these steps quickly. We all have.
Wait, what?
Quickly.
They don't just have to figure it out on their own?
No.
No.
Oh, I was wondering why you were interrupting me. That's funny now. I was like, what are you interrupting? Anyway. All right.
So we've gotten our license, right? We've gone through step 1. We've gotten contracted. That means you can actually write business with the carriers. Step 3, writing a policy on yourself. Why do we do this? Number 1, you got to own what you sell, right? If anybody's ever been in sales before, doesn't matter what it is. Those who have what they're selling are exponentially better. It's like when you own, I don't know, let's say a pen, right? Let's say like, this is the best pen I've ever had, so I'm going to sell it. It's so much easier. You can speak to it. You're like, this is what this does for me. It writes really well. I love the color. It never, ever, ever runs out of ink. It's really, really easy to find because it's shiny, right? You can sell it because you can speak to it. That's super important in this. When you can give real life examples of this is what I did for my family because I know how important this is, people want to do what other people are doing. We're like herd mentality. That's human nature. We want to do what others are doing. We don't want to feel like we're behind. So by you speaking to that, it gives you that much more credibility when you're speaking to your clients. Secondly, going back to the recipe analogy here, how many of you work a little bit better? Let's say you're going to bake a cake, right? Let's say you're going to do that. If you knew what the cake looked like at the end, would it help you a little bit better during the process? You know what your end result is. You know what it looks like. It kind of helps you get there while you're following the steps in the recipe. You'll know when that cake comes out of the oven if it looks like it's supposed to or not, right? You'll know that if you don't add the eggs, it's not going to work out. You know, if you forget to add the flour, it's not going to work out. You know why you're doing what you're doing because you know what the end result looks like. So by writing this on yourself, by going through those steps yourself, you know exactly what to expect. You know what it looks like when you've already done it. As you're going through that with your client, you know that they need to sign both times. They need to sign the HIPAA signature and the final signature on most applications. You know they need their social. You know they need their bank information. You know they need to know the names of their beneficiaries. You know a lot of times they need their driver's license. You can help mentally prepare them and yourself. You can speak to it confidently because you're not surprised when you're seeing these questions. You're not saying, oh, sorry, it looks like you need your driver's license. Does that sound confident? Or does it sound better when you're like, okay, and what's your driver's license number? They'll need that to just run a driving record history check. What's more confident? What sounds more professional? If you've already done these steps once, you're already more confident the second time around. So doing that on yourself has a lot of purposes. Number 1, owning what you sell. Number 2, knowing the end result before you get there. Plus there's additional perks. You get paid on it. You can see the full process of what it looks like start to finish with the carriers. If you have to pivot for some reason, you didn't get approved for the application you wrote on yourself, you know how to do that. You know how to course correct. You know how to ask why. You know how to look at a different carrier. You know how to write another application. There's nothing wrong with that. You're learning. That's how you do this. You also learn how to communicate with those carriers after something's approved, what you need to do then, what it looks like, what a policy packet looks like, what it looks like when you actually pay your first premium, what it looks like to get paid, how that whole thing works. It builds confidence. It helps you understand this process. And that way now you know what to expect moving forward. It also gets you activated as a new writer. That means you show up on the leaderboards. It feels good to see your own name up there, right? Martin, felt good to see your name up there, huh? It feels good, right? Mark Anthony, same thing. Angela Taylor, it feels good to be recognized. You're part of the crew now. You're officially a licensed agent. You're not officially a licensed agent until you write your first application. You're a licensed person, but you're not an agent yet till you write your first application. So you're there. You've arrived, right? Another thing, gets you access to Switchboard. You've heard us talk about Switchboard probably. It is an amazing tool that's free to all agents, but corporate wants to make sure that you're serious. And they know you're serious because you write an application. If you don't write an application, they're like, who's this person? They're not even here yet. So by doing that, you then get access to this free software that manages your leads for you, sets up lists so that you can actually know who you're needing to call and when, does the automated text campaigns for you. When you schedule appointments, it sends them automatic text reminders. It does so much for you, and you have access to that when you write your first application. Huge. Additionally here, what else was I missing? Oh, I think that might have been all I was needing to say. There was one more point, but it's just, oh, I know. So once you write your first application, you're already contracted. Let's say you're working on your contracting with Mutual of Omaha. They take a little bit sometimes to get you fully contracted. But once you write an application, you're put to the top of the list. So now they're like, this person actually means business. They wrote business automatically. So their contracting is going to happen a lot faster. And so you can write more business with Mutual of Omaha and you're going to get paid a lot faster. The first time you write with a carrier, it always takes a little bit. They got to get their little like dusts all eliminated, right? Sweep out the cobwebs, get things together, and then you're paid. But once you get that first one in, it's faster and faster and faster. So by doing that, you're just setting yourself up to move through this process even faster when you're with a real client. Boom.
Okay. So there you go. That's writing a policy on yourself, and it ties into this next step so well, because now, right, Paige, do you remember? I'll just reflect, and then I'll talk recipe as well. I'll jump in on the recipe train. The do you do you remember? Yeah, where writing? Did you write a paper app on yourself, or was it an e-app?
It was a paper app, the first one.
Do you remember how hard that was?
Oh, yeah.
And
You're just doing a PDF editor, figuring out what lines you're supposed to fill out, what lines are optional. You don't know. Now you know. They tell you if you missed a required field.
And it's like, okay, is this going to be this hard? But no, not anymore. The writing the policy with the electronics, it helps you go into this next step when you're buying leads of you've now made a mistake on the computer. You now understand what it looks like. You now have the experience, and now it's into buying leads. And as a new agent, our recommendation is coming in with 30 B2 leads and 40 B3 leads a week. And that's a week, and consistently that 70, I would say 70 leads, 70 to 80 leads in a week to fresh dial, triple dial, and do all that. That is the magic number that's going to get you into that 8 to 10 appointments booked and help you with some success and helping some families. But think about this. On the recipe side of things, and Paige, I didn't know we were going down this path till today, but I love it. If Hunter makes the most perfect cake or meal, and it's taken him 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to perfect it, and he gives you the recipe, what are your chances of actually duplicating that? Really good, right? Maybe not with Hunter's skill. I mean, there's always secret
I was just going to say.
but you get what I'm saying, Hunter. You work.
Yeah.
Symmetry works so hard on these leads. They've worked for years and years and years on these leads. The founders have said these leads are the best in the industry. I believe them. They haven't led me astray yet. Why would we want to go change what's going on with that from that standpoint? Does that make sense? You have the recipe. It may not be exact, But man, if you're making a, a devil's chocolate cake or something that you've mastered, and I recreate it, I've got a really good chance of recreating it if the instructions are really good. And that's what these leads are. They're they're people that are interested. They're people that have already filled out some sort of form. This isn't something where you have to go flip through a phone book and dial and say, "Hey, can I make, are you interested in mortgage protect?" You don't have to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. There's Hunter, there's probably, you've been to our house. There's 40 homes in our little couple blocks here. I don't want to go knock on those doors and try to make people interested. I'd rather go get those 70 leads, book the appointments and move on, because it's a time thing. It's a time and money thing. And investing in these leads each week is very crucial to your success. I'll explain a little bit about the B1 to B5. If you're new, you haven't probably gotten into this yet, but the B1 lead, they all start out as A leads. They're all the new leads, and then they have 5 weeks. If nobody's written a policy on them, they move into the B category, which is bonus lead. A B1 is a lead that's been sold once. It's the most expensive of the B lead bonus leads, but you're also going to spend the least amount of time booking appointments. So you're trading a little bit of money for a lot of time. And then it goes down B2, B3, B4, B5. We get to the B5. Now all of a sudden they're the least expensive leads out there, but you're also in trading for less investment. You are also investing more time because you're going to have to dial more. That's the simple breakdown of it. I don't want to go into it too deep, but the thing I think we see where people fail here is when they get into leads and they do it 1 week. I did it for 1 week, skip the second week, did it the third week, skip the fourth. All you're doing is creating a roller coaster for yourself. You are not providing a consistent chance for yourself to succeed. You've got to keep 70 to 80 in inventory each week that are new going forward to engage in that consistency and helping those families. And I didn't do it in the beginning, Paige. Did you? I know you were pretty close, but you took a long vacation in the middle of it and you didn't. And
Yeah.
and
Well, and what I think is so important about what you said there, Tom, is if you are inconsistent, your results are going to be inconsistent. If you get your leads every week, you get enough to be successful every single week, no matter what the results are of the previous weeks. You dial what you're supposed to dial. If you're brand new, you should be budgeting out 8 to 10 hours a week of dialing. If you're part-time, half of that. But honestly, if you can do more, the faster you're going to get through this learning curve. The more you can do now, if you front load yourself now and just get through the suck, there's a series of suck you have to get through. And once you get through it, you don't have to go back. You don't have to go back through it again. You learn how to do all the things. You get to where you've written your first application on your first client, and then a light bulb goes off. I know this is possible. I know what it takes. I know start to finish what this looks like. It's just like seeing the cake, right? You know what it looks like already. Then you just do it. Then it's about scaling it up and getting the results that you want based off of what type of activity you're doing. So get your leads every week. Do your dials every week. Do enough every week. 8 to 10 hours of dialing should be a minimum of 300 dials a week. And I'm actually kind of jumping ahead to my section here, but a minimum of that. But honestly, in the first couple of weeks, if you're not over 500 dials, you're hurting yourself because you're just delaying your learning curve. So step 5, getting to 1,000 dials.
But before we jump in there, Paige, if I may, for just a quick second, Tom, you and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, and you had a great kind of analogy about the warm market business versus leads. Would you mind going into that just for a minute?
The warm market business, where, refresh my memory again
about what your business looks like if you're relying on warm markets and on warm market business and the kind of balancing effect that leads have.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. I know exactly where you're going now. So
Yeah.
I'm older, Hunter. It's okay. I got it. No, if you're doing all warm market policies, think of it as a massive storm on the ocean. You're going to be riding a roller coaster or whatever, however you want to place it. It's going to go like this. This is not a dance, by the way. But
Rolling with the home.
there you go. Thank you.
Everybody
Everybody
clueless reference there.
anyway, but what leads does is it provides that solid calm for the storm. It provides that the little ripples, yeah, maybe the ripples are a little, but you can still water ski on the ripples. When it's storming out, you can't water ski on them, right? You want that water as smooth as glass. And that's what these leads do, is really truly they provide a solid foundation for affecting those peaks and valleys. And that's really, I think that's where you wanted me to go, Hunter.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that was the light bulb that went off, but
and to clarify, right in the beginning, if you're helping out friends and family, it helps cushion that bank account. But the point we're making is most do not have a functional, profitable business by only warm market in the beginning. You got to have those leads in here if you really want to make the income that's going to be able to help you leave your other job or provide enough to be able to help retire your spouse or just give you what you need to be able to live the life that you want. So
no, warm market can always push you into a promotion for sure. That's for sure.
yeah, it adds a little bit. At this point, we probably help 3 to 5 warm market people a month. I'm actively promoting all the time on social media. So that started to happen and come full circle. But ultimately here, that's a huge point is you got to have consistency with the leads and you got to dial them. You got to get to where if you're getting a hold at 80 to 90% of them, you know which ones are the yeses, you know which ones are the nos, then you're doing enough. But you got to be hitting that 8 to 10 hours of dialing, that minimum of 3 to 500. But my average, my first couple of weeks was 800 dials per week because I needed to book the appointments I needed. And that's where we're focusing. You need to make sure that you're hitting your metrics so the results may follow. Fall in love with the process so the results follow.
Isn't that so good? And you guys have both got me hungry now all of a sudden talking about recipes. But I have a really good recipe analogy for those that are new on this call as well. Hunter, I'll lean on you. I know, Paige, you don't cook. I get it. You don't have to. But Hunter, when you find something that in your mind looks good as a new recipe, what's the one thing you're saying as you're going along? Man, I hope this turns out. Man, I hope this it comes out exactly like it did in the picture because this looks good to me, right? As you're going along. Oh, they want me to add this. Okay, they want me to add this. Okay, they want me to add this, right? Now you get it, you do it the first time and you're like, Paige tries it and she's like, maybe it needs something. Then the next time you do it, you add just a little bit to it. You don't change the recipe. You add a little bit, maybe your flair, maybe your whatever, your little chef secrets. But it's the same thing with the leads. As you keep adding, and in this process, as it's new, you keep adding to that recipe. And the second or third time you make it, you now know what it's going to come out as, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And since we're using recipe analogies, Tom, that's a great point. Beginning with the end in mind for everything is always a powerful tool because you know what you're looking for. And Paige, you brought this up earlier, but the other thing I would encourage you to do, and something I'm going to stick with the cooking analogy, is constantly be assessing at every step along the way, right? Be monitoring what your business is doing. Trust, but don't trust blindly. Okay. Be monitoring, your results, be monitoring your activity, be tracking your business along the way so that you can, if you're not getting the desired result, right? If the recipe doesn't turn out the way you hoped it would, you at least have data to go back and look at and say, okay, here's where things started to go awry. Here's where we need to make a slight correction. And that's going to get this back on track.
And how do we do that, Hunter? That's a great lead. I love that. That was really good.
Oh, we track our business, Tom.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to run through. super quick. This is Paige. You remember all the papers we used to have to print out and you hated them. I know you did. I did too. I know you
I
did.
loved the digital side.
So everybody, as you get licensed, first step, you will get access to HQ. On HQ, over on the far right corner by your picture and reminders and summit, is a half moon that's called Perform Dash. And if you really want to find out what's next in this business, you've got to use Perform Dash when you're, because it helps your mentor figure out what Hunter was saying. Where are you tracking it? What is it that's working? What's not working? It shows the leads that you've purchased. It's done all this. It has all this in here. You remember we used to have to fill that out, Paige. That was horrible. That was 2 hours on a spreadsheet on a Sunday afternoon that I hated. I'm just saying. And now you go to this counting what counts. It's on every single agent that has HQ access. You type in the leads you received. You type in your contacts, the appointments booked, appointments that showed up, how much APV you submitted, how much you placed. Placed is a big one. Placed is what your promotions count on. Placed means that the carrier has approved it and you've gotten a commission on it. That's the only definition of placed. Dials. How many dials did you put in? How many, how many hours did you put in? So you can figure out, I mean, Paige, we were what, 400 or 500 dials all the time in 3 hours. We could get through what, 40, 50, 60 dials in and out, maybe more. I don't remember. It's been a minute, but apps written, appointments set, no shows, FIF resets submitted. That's a big one. After sale referrals booked. Paige kind of touched on that a little bit with warm market reschedules, contacts. What this does is all the mentors, all the agency owners, your key leaders, anybody who brought you in can look at those numbers and really truly have a true conversation about what's next, what's going on. Hey, you're putting in a whole bunch of dials. You're not talking to anybody. What's going on with that? Or you're a lot of people are picking up the phone and you're not booking a bunch of appointments. Now that's a different coaching conversation. So now you're steering the ship with your mentor helping you and saving you a whole bunch of time, real time. We had to wait, Paige. Dang it, we had to wait a week to get like coaching on this. I'm being realistic. I mean, we'd go through it every Monday or Tuesday, and then it's like, okay, and then we fill it out again. And Saturday, Sunday come, we'd fill it out, and Monday go through it, and then be like, well, you got to do. Well, I wish I'd have known that last week, but this gives you real time ability to course correct during the week because we can. And don't be ashamed of putting anything in there. I was as hesitant. Paige will tell you, I promise. She's going to hit me. I was as hesitant as they get in certain things in this business. But this one cannot be a hesitant because it really, really helps. And it's just going to help you be successful even faster.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And so with that, if you find yourself worried or anxious or stressed or whatever the word is for you in this journey, it just means that you're not doing enough. If you're busy enough, you won't have time to be worried. If you're focusing on the process, falling in love, if you will, with the process of making sure you're getting enough leads, you're working enough of those leads, right? You're dialing enough to achieve the results. If you're reading to help yourself grow bigger and better and go beyond your current set of problems so that you can solve bigger and better problems. If you're doing those things on a regular basis, on a weekly, daily basis, you're going to win. You're going to win. So if you feel that anxiety, if you feel that worry, that should trigger in your mind, I need to do more. What can I do? I can dial. You can always dial. I can read a book. You can always read a book. I can plug into this call that I know is going to help me, but afterwards I'm going to get to work. If you do that and you correct yourself, you're going to grow. You're going to become the better version of yourself. You're going to become the person that's worthy of the prize here. And that's all it takes. Little bit every single day, and you're going to get better. I'll leave everyone with this. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. What are you avoiding right now that could unlock that magic for you? That feeling of, I didn't realize life could be like this. I didn't realize that I could retire my husband or wife. We can spend every day with our kids that we want to. We can be at every event. We can go on any trip. We can take a week and a half off and go spend time on a lake in Montana because we can. We can afford to. We have the flexibility to. Our business is not going to skip a beat. What are you avoiding right now that's going to unlock that life for you? Of creating that wealth for your kids' kids, for your great grandchildren, to where they look back and they say, wow, I'm so glad that Lisa did this for me. I'm so glad that Janet dedicated this time and effort so that our family can live the way it does right now. I'm so relieved that Martin went through that learning curve and developed the organization, the business, the empire that he did, because now our family's life is forever different. Our kids have potential and opportunities that they wouldn't have had otherwise. What are you avoiding right now? It's always something small, but you know it. Your intuition knows it. Go out and get it. Have a great week, everybody.